Good morning, everyone. As always, place your cross on first, no matter what's going on in your life. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. I've been hinting at Paul lately, when I first became a Christian, I started reading about Paul, and I just doubted and doubted and doubted and doubted, but I came to an understanding there's no way Paul could be false. He said, why go back to the pleasures of Egypt like Moses did? Moses refused to live a life of joy according to the world to serve the Lord. Why would Paul relinquish that title for a false belief system? It just didn't make sense. I didn't figure that out till years later. You know, the things that Paul went through. Why would a fake go through that? But anyway, Acts 22. Men brethren and fathers, hear ye my defense, which I make now unto you. And they that heard them, that he spake in the Hebrew tongue to them, they kept the more silence. And he said, I am verily a man which am a Jew, born in Tarsus, a city in Cilicia, yet brought up in this city at the feet of Gamaliel, and taught according to the perfect manner of the law, the fathers, and was zealous toward God as you all are this day. Now, I talked about this the other day. Paul was a special chosen vessel because he knew the law frontwards and backwards. He persecuted anybody that went against it because his understanding was not open. And I persecuted this way into the death, binding and delivering unto prison both men and women, as also the high priest both bear me witness, and all the estate of the elders, from whom also I received letters unto the brethren, and went to Damascus to bring them which were there bound into Jerusalem, for to be punished. And it came to pass that as I made my journey and was come nigh unto Damascus about noon, suddenly there shone from heaven a great light round about me. And I fell unto the ground, and heard a voice saying unto me, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me? And I answered, Who art thou, Lord? And he said unto me, I am Jesus of Nazareth, whom thou persecutest. Now you got to understand why this is important right here. But you're finna figure it out why it is important. Let me stop. Let me go over to 23 of Acts. Starting with 6. But when Paul perceived that the one part were Sadducees and the other part Pharisees, he cried out in the council, Men of brethren, I am a Pharisee, the son of a Pharisee. Of the hope and resurrection of the dead, I am called in question. And when he had said, there arose a dissension between the Pharisees and the Sadducees, and the multitude was divided. For the Sadducees say that there is no resurrection, neither angel nor spirit, but the Pharisees confess both. Now think about it. As a Pharisee, they believe in angels, they believe in angelic intercession, that you can be spoken to. They believe in a resurrection. So when Paul heard that voice on the road to Damascus, he was already taught by being a Pharisee to believe in angels and principalities and things above, and heaven, hell, the resurrection of the dead. Does it make sense to you now? And when I could not see for the glory of the light, being led by the hand of them that were with me, I came into Damascus. And when Ananias, a devout man according to the law, having a good report of all the Jews which dwelt there, came unto me and stood and said unto me, Brother Saul, receive thy sight. And the same hour I looked upon him. And he said, The God of our fathers have chosen thee, that thou shouldest know his will, and see that just one, and shouldest hear the voice of his mouth. But thou shalt be a witness unto all men of what thou hast seen and heard. I'm going to stop right there. Now think about it, people. Everybody has a different calling. Everybody's called for a certain reason. You see, at first I couldn't relate to Paul and this and that, but even from a youth, I always believed in spiritual things and ghosts. I was fascinated with ghosts. I used to talk to my mom and aunt them and try to hear ghost stories from them and spiritual stories. But I remember also when I was young, I used to have constant bad dreams. I used to always think something was watching me. I remember I used to wake up and they call it sleep paralysis, but I don't believe in that. I believe I was under spiritual attack even as a youth. You understand? I used to wake up when everybody was gone and be pinned to the bed. Can't move, can't speak, can't nothing. The world will try to tell you, oh, it's nothing. It's just a moment between sleep and being awake. But well, when I was going through it, it sure as hell didn't feel like that. I was awake and I would see things. I would hear voices call out to my name. But I was told growing up that if you hear a voice calling your name, most likely it's the devil. And don't answer. Well, I started reading the Bible. And I remember when God called out to Samuel. I'm like, whoa, God probably was trying to reach out to me for years. But the things I was taught and the beliefs I was taught stopped it, hindered it. Don't tell her how long I could have been called by the Lord. But I was already open to the spiritual realm. Now let's go to my testimony. Because that's exactly what Paul did. What made me call on the Lord? I was going through spiritual warfare. Heavy. Give you a little backstory. I was married to a pagan. I wasn't married yet, but I was dating a pagan woman. A witch. A practicer of Wicca. So knowing that I know now, but people who practice Wicca and such things, they invoke the spirits. Well, let's put it this way. I was under spiritual attack. And I was falling away from God at the same time. They were trying to teach me ways to get rid of vanquish the evil spirits that was in my life using their craft. And I called on the Lord. And the Lord told me, I asked the Lord, what was wrong? Why am I going through what I'm going through? And he pointed out those books to me. This is why you are going through what you're going through. He pointed to a bookshelf in my bedroom that had number of witchcraft books, sorcery books, horoscope books, every kind of doctrine that I didn't supposed to follow. And I went home, I gave my life to the Lord, and I went to the church back in my hometown, and the pastor was talking about witchcraft and things of such like that. And I started looking at Paul's story. I'm like, his story is not really different from many that are called. You understand? But even with Paul, he was following the law. He was doing this earnestly. But he didn't realize he was kicking against the pricks. Let me pause and I will continue.